Well, very early morning, and I've had my tea with honey, uh, such is the life of an old fart. What can I say? I get up very early. Try to get up around between 4 and 5, which makes life difficult in some ways because Beth is not ready for bed at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and so we have differences in the way that we want to live there. But the idea is that at that time of the morning, there's really nothing, only yourself, to get in the way of what you really should be doing. Well, I decided a little while ago that I would read from Proverbs. So I'm here with my Bible, and obviously the house is very quiet. It's around 5:15, something like that. Let me see. Yeah, it's about 5:15. So I'll wait until daybreak, and then I'll be able to do my workout. So this is a good time to read from Proverbs, and we're at Proverb 8, in praise of wisdom. Now, the thing is about reading from the Bible and reading it out loud is that you're actually talking in part about how you should be living. And of course, all of the motivational experts will tell you that you should be actually saying these things as if they're happening right now. And in reading, certainly in reading this one, which is Proverb 8, in praise of wisdom. So I'll just stop waffling and read that aloud. Listen, wisdom is calling out. Reason is making herself heard. On the hilltops near the road and at the crossroads she stands. At the entrance to the city beside the gates she calls. I appeal to all of you. I call to everyone on earth. Are you immature? Learn to be mature. Are you foolish? Heavens, not us. Not you and me. Are you foolish? Learn to have sense. Listen to my excellent words. All I tell you is right. What I say is the truth. Lies are hateful to me. Everything I say is true. Nothing is false or misleading. To those with insight, it is all clear. To the well-informed, it is all plain. Choose my instructions instead of silver. Choose knowledge rather than the finest gold. This is a very popular theme, actually, for those who seek to motivate us to a better life. Most of what's said you can find in the Bible. Of course, it's not done in the same way. So sometimes it takes hearing the wisdom to actually understand it in a way that's real to you. But it says, and now it gets on to actually talking about how you should be talking as if the gift is already yours, as if you are already wise. I am wisdom. I am better than jewels. Nothing you want can compare with me. I am wisdom, and I have insight. I have knowledge and sound judgment. If you think about it, if you went to work every day or went about your day with those words ringing in your ears from your own voice, and it is important to actually say the words out loud. You have to hear them as if you're delivering them to some part of yourself which is not vocal. The heart maybe. I am wisdom. I am better than jewels. Nothing you want can compare to me. I am wisdom and I have insight. I have knowledge and sound judgment. To honor the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, evil ways and false words. I make plans and carry them out. I have understanding and I am strong. If you think about it, all of the affirmations are in line with this. This came first. So if you were to start your day with these words ringing in your ears, how badly could it go? To honor the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, evil ways and false words. I make plans and carry them out. I have understanding and I am strong. I help kings to govern and rulers to make good laws. Every ruler on earth governs with my help, officials and nobles alike. Right, we could do with reading that to a few people that are pretending to be leaders at the moment. Every ruler on earth governs with my help, officials and nobles alike. I love those who love me. Whoever looks for me can find me. I have riches and honor to give, prosperity and success. What you get from me is better than the finest gold, better than the purest silver. I walk the way of righteousness. I follow the paths of justice, giving wealth to those who love me, filling their houses with treasures. The Lord created me first of all, the first of his works, long ago. I was made in the very beginning, at the first, before the world began. I was born before the oceans, when there were no springs of water. I was born before the mountains, before the hills were set in place. Before God made the earth and its fields, or even the first handfuls of soil. I was there when he set the sky in place, when he stretched the horizons across the ocean, when he placed the clouds in the sky, when he opened the springs of the ocean and ordered the waters of the sea to rise no further than he said. I was there when he laid the earth's foundations. I was beside him like an architect. I was his daily source of joy, always happy in his presence, happy with the world and pleased with the human race. Now, young people, listen to me. Do as I say, and you will be happy. Listen to what you are taught. Be wise, do not neglect it. Those who listen to me will be happy. Those who stay at my door every day, waiting at the entrance to my home. Those who find me find life, and the Lord will be pleased with them. Those who do not find me hurt themselves. Anyone who hates me loves death. Now it often speaks of death, and how in Proverb 8 it goes into the immoral woman. And you can view this in many, many ways. I'm no great scholar when it comes to the Bible. I'm no great interpreter of what all of the different meanings can be. But of course, all of the teachings from old were all about how best to put something. And if you think about anything that you shouldn't be doing, you can think of that as the immoral woman. So if you're listening to this and you think, well, I would never do that. It's something that I would never do. An immoral woman, somebody else's wife. It can be someone else's possessions. It can be the very act of doing those things which are difficult to do and yet will stand you in better stead in the end. So here it says in Proverbs 1:6, verse 6, the immoral woman. Once I was looking out the window of my house, and I saw many inexperienced young men But notice one foolish fellow in particular. He was walking along the street near the corner where a certain woman lived. He was passing near her house in the evening after it was dark, and then she met him. She was dressed like a prostitute and was making plans. She was a bold and shameless woman who always walked the streets or stood waiting at the corner, sometimes in the streets, sometimes in the marketplace. She threw her arms around the young man, kissed him, looked him straight in the eye and said, "I made my offerings today and have the meat from the sacrifices." This, of course, is forbidden to, in the Bible it was forbidden. In the Old Testament anyway, it was forbidden to eat the meat that had been offered for sacrifices. So if you think about this as a metaphor for all of those things which you are offered, which you shouldn't be taking, which would be easy to take. It's very popular at the moment to think in terms of Hollywood and how much Hollywood has to answer for. And Hollywood certainly could be regarded as the immoral woman, offering all kinds of things. Now what's coming to light is that there are many, many satanic rituals. If you think about it, that we are entering a situation now where it is the final battle between good and evil, is my belief. Because soon we may have to decide between life and death. Will that be this? Will it be cutting this throat, or will it metaphorically be in abandoning all of those beliefs? If you remember the first Christians, they actually were asked to renounce their faith. Renounce your faith and you will live. A very, very difficult thing to actually decide for, because it was their mortality that they were, well, not their eternal mortality. That was not in question as long as they didn't renounce their faith. It's very easy to renounce your faith. Your faith can be whatever is right or wrong. If presented with a reward, an immediate benefit, if by renouncing your sense of right and wrong, in doing something that is not to be done. It's funny that I remember being in the airport once, and I was with my son, who at the time was 6 years old. And I remember waiting in the lounge, and there was a long time between flights, between connections. And my son was roaming around. Can't nail a kid's feet to the floor, can you? And he'd been away for a couple of minutes. This was in safer days, okay? We're talking 10, 30 years ago. And suddenly he arrived back and he had a toy. Of course, I said, where did you get the toy? Well, I got it from around there. Well, it wasn't very long before a holding the hand of another small boy who was perhaps a little bit younger than Luke at 4 years old. And she explained that my son Luke had come along, the toy was sitting next to her son, and Luke had picked up the toy, handed the child $1 and taken off with the child. So she actually was, she was quite wise at this. She said, he paid for it. He paid $1, but of course my son doesn't want to sell it for $1. The re-exchange was made, and my son got his $1 back, and the little boy left with his toy reinstated. So sometimes you can take something that doesn't belong to you and you can make an apparent exchange which you justify is correct. It has to be with everybody's agreement. That would be wisdom. So I hope you enjoyed this little trip into the Proverbs. Bye for now.